What's up guys, it's Phil here with Transfer Superstars. On this video, I'm actually going to be designing and decorating a collection for our friends over at Offroad. Now, what they wanted to do is take their original design, add some color and flair to it. The way we got this inspiration is through our sample pack. So this is a skull design that you guys might be familiar with, but it has a really bright color and it has a drip effect. So they wanted to recreate the design, add not only the color, but the drip effect to each of the lettering and the fonts here. So we're gonna go ahead and show you guys exactly how we do this whole process. So the brand wanted to create a black camo collection. We went with independent trading because they have a wide variety of apparel that matches what the customer wants. What we're gonna be using is going to be a hoodie. We're gonna be using a camo fleece jogger, a camo fleece shorts, a flannel, and a duffel bag. So let's go into each one so I can show you all the details here. So I'm going to start off with their hoodie. This is going to be a mid-weight hoodie. I'm going to lay this down so I can give you guys the exact specs of this. It does come with a kangaroo pouch, which is really nice. It comes with also a tearaway label so you guys can brand them. This is a really nice metal eyelet as well. So this is a really nice premium product. The drawstring is also sewn on this end. Now this is going to be an 80-20 cotton poly blend. It also comes in a size extra small all the way to 3XL. And last but not least, it's the SS 4500. I'll drop a link below for this particular item along with the others. And lastly, I didn't mention that it has a 1x1 cuffed ribbed cuff sleeve and also on the bottom, so it's nice and stretchy. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, it's a fleece interior, so it's really nice and soft inside. Now the next item is going to be a relaxed sweatpants, also black camo. It has a drawstring waist string here. It is also kind of like a shoelace. Very stretchy here, has an elastic band. It has a rear pocket. And the pockets are actually quite deep, so you guys can fit a full-size cell phone in there without any issues. So let me show you. And this is going to be a model 20 PNT. And the next item is going to be the shorts. This is by far one of my favorites. It's nice and thick, also very stretchy. I like that the bottom of the leggings is not very baggy at all. It's kind of tapered. Really nice fit. This one is a size medium. And this model is going to be the 20 SRT. And it's also a 80-20 cotton polyester blend. Now the next item is a flannel shirt. It's nice and soft. There's a little bit of a stretch to this. It has dual pockets, has buttons all around. This is how the back looks. Let me see if I can get some more details on this. This is going to be EXP 50F. And again, this is going to be a 60-40 cotton poly. And it also comes in size extra small to 3XL. And it has roll-up sleeve vents. So let me check that out. Not a lot of brands have that roll-up sleeve vent, but it does have a roll-up sleeve vent. I'm guessing it's this. But this is a size large. It looks pretty standard. I wear a size large. So we'll be also pressing on this item. And last but not least is their camo duffel bag. This is 100% polyester. I believe it's 20 inches by 10. So let me double check. 20.5 inches by 10.5 inch. 100% polyester. 10.5 ounce. It's got a waterproof interior PVC coating. carrying handles, removable shoulder strap. You can also decorate on this with our DTF transfer. And it has internal mesh zipper pockets. Cell phone, chapstick, any little accessories that you don't want to be loose around in the duffel bag, you're able to carry that. And it's quite deep. And it also has holes here, so that's pretty nice. Allows it to be a little bit breathable for water to also come through. We're going to also be pressing on this. So the next thing we're going to talk about is graphic size and mock-ups. I get a lot of mock-ups from customers asking me what size that graphic looks like, but we really can't tell with mock-ups because that mock-up could be a size small or 3XL. What we recommend is to actually purchase the blank garment that you're going to be using and actually laying it down and measuring it. So what we're going to do is start off with the hoodie. I'm going to go ahead and lay this down, and I'll also show you the mock-ups here. Now with the hoodie, we're going to be going with a left chest pocket design. We are going to be using a 4-inch in height design. What we use here is going to be a piece of paper. This is actually printed from a regular computer. So instead of actually doing the transfers first, we're just going to do this first so that we can get a visual of how it's going to look when it's on the t-shirt. And at this point, it gives you a good idea of how it looks to scale on a large hoodie. And you can see at this point whether you need to increase it in size or decrease it in size. We're satisfied with the 4-inch design. And now for the back, I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to grab my measuring tape. And what you want to measure here is you want to measure from seam to seam on the arm. And what I'm getting here is going to be a 20-inch printable area. But 20 inches is too big for this particular design. What we're going to go with is going to be a 12-inch design. So it's going to sit right in the middle. It's going to be a really nice size, and it's going to fit this hoodie perfectly. So the next item we're going to be talking about is their fleece joggers. So we're going to go ahead and lay this down. This is going to be a size medium. Again, it's a relaxed fit, so it's a little bit bigger in the legs than other sweats, but this is the desired look here. And what we're going to be doing is a similar design to the pocket logo. It's also 4 inches in height, and we're going to be doing this on the left pocket area, which is also very common for sweatpants. So as we place it in place, we take a step back and we look at it. It looks proportionate to the eye. It doesn't need to get adjusted for a larger or smaller. I think we're pretty satisfied with this as is. And the next item is going to be their fleece shorts. We're also going to be laying this down. And what's nice is we're going to use the same 4-inch height design, and we're going to be putting it onto the left leg area. And that's how it's going to look. So it's in proportion, perfect size for, in our opinion, not too small, not too big. And it's real easy for us to print this because this design worked on the left chest, it worked on the joggers, and it also worked on the shorts. So the next item is going to be their flannel shirt. Now this one's going to be a little bit more difficult, definitely a lot more challenging for screen printers. But the good thing about transfers is that we're going to be able to easily apply this on the pocket. So I'm also going to lay this down. Now I'm not going to be able to use the same 4-inch design here. I'm going to be using a 2.5-inch design. Again, we labeled it, so it's really easy for us to tell which one it belongs to. And it's going to go right here, right in the pocket. Now a lot of you are going to wonder how we're going to be able to do this, but we're actually going to be using a heat press pillow, which I'll show you in a bit. And we're going to be able to press this on this even hard to reach area. So stay tuned for that. Now I'm going to also be pressing on the back of the flannel. And just like all garments, make sure you lay it out and measure it. Now this has an 18-inch seam to seam. So again, our design is going to be 12 inches, which matches the original design. And it's going to be right in the center. So this is how it's going to look. 12 inches gives you a good idea. If you want to go bigger, you can increase the size, but 12 inches is going to work for us. Now the last item here we're going to be showing you is their duffel bag. Let's go ahead and also lay this down. Now the design is going to be going in between the handles. I'm going to go ahead and measure this for you guys. It's going to be 7.5 inches. Now we decided to go with a 6.25 inch design, and this will leave about a 1.5 inch on each side. Now we're also going to be placing this right in the center of the bag, so you don't want to go too high and too low, and you also want to factor in that when the duffel bag folds up, you're going to lose some of the area on the bottom. So we're going to end up pressing this right down the middle here. And we're also going to be using heat resistant tape to keep this in place. But this is going to be the desired location of the press. And we're also going to be using a heat press pillow, which I'll show you guys in a minute. So a couple things that we're going to be using for this project. We're going to be using heat resistant tape. This will keep the transfers in place. We're also going to be using heat press pillows. This is a variety pack that we got off of Amazon. There's some really large ones that you can use for the hoodie. You've got a sleeve one. You've got a small pocket one that we're going to be using for the pocket. And we have some odd and end sizes. We're going to probably use this for the leggings or the shorts. Now lastly, I'm going to show you a gang sheet. This is what we printed our transfers on. This is going to be a size 22 by 24. So estimated cost of these transfers are going to be only $20 with us. Again, we'll drop a link below in case you guys are looking to order your transfers, but it can show you all the sizes that you guys can do for only $20. So the first item we're going to be decorating is the hoodie. We're going to use a 12-inch back design and also a pocket design. So let's go ahead and cut. These don't come pre-cut, so all you need to do is grab a pair of scissors and start trimming your transfers out. You want to leave yourself some extra room and not cut too close. Next, I'm going to cut out a pocket logo. Just clean off all the edges. Leave yourself some nice room to peel. And that's it. So let's go ahead and lay this down so that we can position the transfers. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lay this on the left pocket. We're going to go 4 inches down and 3.5 inches across, and that would be the center point of the left pocket design. So 4 inches down, I'm getting right here. And then from this point, 3.5 inches across is going to be this point. You would grab your transfer and you would lay it right down the middle. You would grab some heat resistant tape. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lay the hoodie down on the heat press. You want to make sure that you pull the hood of the hoodie past the heat press machine, making sure that it clears everything. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a heat press pillow. I'm going to grab my large one. Slip it all the way through across. And last thing you want to check is to make sure that the cord is not in the way. That's going to affect your transfer. So make sure it's out of the way, touch, feel, and make sure that it's within the heat press. So now that everything is laid out, I'm going to be pressing this for 300 degrees for 7 seconds. So let's go. Now I'm also going to take a microfiber cloth. I'm just going to rub down the transfer just so that it adheres very well on the shirt and it allows the peel to peel off a lot easier. Now because of the drip effect is going down, I'm going to peel from top down. I'm going to crack a corner, peel. Now what I'm going to do is remove this tape. I'm going to lay it back on the hoodie and I'm going to go for a second press. This ensures that the transfer is going to last long. Make sure you guys do this step. Now let's go ahead and work on the back. Now for the back print, let's go ahead and lay this. We're going to go 3 inches to match the original hoodie. So 3 inches down is going to be right about there. So I'm going to go ahead and position this. Let me just kind of get this into place first. And what we do here, since we don't have a laser leveler on this particular heat press, is we use our fingers. We get to the side of the platen heat press and we just kind of use our fingers. So we take the widest point here, and as you see, it's exactly 3 fingers, and that means it's even on both ends. So I'm also going to go ahead and remove that. I don't need to tape this down because it's a big print. It's not going to move around. I'm satisfied with the positioning here. So let's go ahead and press. Same thing, heavy pressure, 300 degrees, 7 seconds. I'm going to take my microfiber cloth. I'm just going to rub the edges. Now this is not a must, but we always recommend this because there's a lot of heat presses out there that are not even, and this helps regulate the heat and keeps things even. All right, so what we're going to do, same thing, we're going to grab a corner. Since the drip line is going down, we're going to peel down. Grab a corner, peel. The transfer is off completely. Let's go ahead and lay it back on the t-shirt, on the hoodie. Repress for that second time. Take a look at that. They wanted color, here's color. Next one's going to be the jogger. We're going to lay this out. 4-inch design. We're going to lay it on the left pocket. And we're actually going to be measuring this and laying it out about 1 inch past the seam. So right about there, just kind of going to give it a good eyeball. And right about where the pocket line is going to be at. So grab your heat resistant tape, since this is an item that is movable. And I'm also going to be taking advantage of the heat press pillow, and that's also going to be moving the transfer. So I just want to tape it down really well so I don't lose this position. And once it's in place, I'm going to open it up, lay it down. I'm going to go ahead and take this heat press pillow because it fits nicer into the leg. Now there's also going to be the little pocket that you need to take into consideration. So you're going to go ahead and lay it underneath the pocket. So there's a pocket in here. You're going to lay the heat press pillow on top of that pocket. You can touch it to make sure that it's completely flat. And there I have it in position. We'll make sure that the whole thing is within this range. If the pillow's not completely, if the transfer is not completely on top of the pillow, you're gonna have a hard time transferring it completely. And so, yeah, again, make sure the pocket's out of range. And so it's a good position now. I'm gonna go ahead and lay it on the heat press. Remove all the drawstrings. Now that's in place, 300 degrees, 7 seconds, heavy pressure. Grab my handy cloth. Just gonna work on the edges. Okay, now that it's pressed, I'm gonna go ahead and crack the corner, peel. Grab the leftover transfer film, lay it back right on top, and let's go for that second press. All right, now for the shorts, I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down. Now for this, since I'm not really messing too much around, I don't really need to use heat resistant tape, but I'm also gonna show you something. If we were to do this area with the pocket, you can actually just pull out the pocket, get it out of the way. But what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna lay it right on the pocket right here, lay it nice and flat. But as you see, it's kind of curling up, so I am gonna use some tape just to hold it down. I'm gonna be going about 1 inch above the seam line. So right about there. I'm gonna use the same tactic with my fingers so that I can position it right in the middle. 4 fingers. Use the tape. All right, now that it's nice and straight, I'm gonna go ahead and press. 300 degrees, 7 seconds, heavy pressure. All right, now I'm gonna grab a corner, peel. Second press. Next, we're gonna do this flannel top. I'm gonna show you some tips and tricks on this. I'm gonna first lay it down. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the buttons. I definitely don't want the buttons melting under the heat press or cracking with the pressure of the heat press. So just go ahead and remove it all the way. Now originally I was going to use the smallest heat press pillow that I have, but it won't fit into the pocket. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to go ahead and use the longer side pillow to lay it across. Now what I'm going to do for also is I'm going to move the top as far up the heat press as possible, so that it will clear the heat, the button will clear the heat press. Again, this is where the edge of the heat press is. So when I press this down, it's not gonna hit the button at all. It's not gonna affect it. And the whole pocket surface is actually gonna be right on top of the heat press pillow. I'm gonna take our smaller design. It's now taped down. I'm gonna go ahead and move the pillow up a little bit so that it's completely flat. And there you go. Buttons out of the way, collars out of the way. Everything looks nice and flat. Triple check that the button's not gonna hit. Let's press. I'm gonna grab a corner, peel. Place this back, double press. Remove that. That will fall off. You've got a nice pocket print. Very, very difficult to do on a screen print machine. We've been doing screen printing for 10 years. This is an advantage for DTF printing, huge advantage. Now off to the back. Gonna lay it down, unbuttoned. Now, the back of the neck is actually this far up, but there is a seam right here. So we've been instructed to go about an inch below the seam. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the seams on both sides of the arms. There's one right here and one right here, and that will help me align this in the middle. I'm also gonna take advantage of the checkered boxes. That will show that it's straight. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my ruler, measuring tape, go at about an inch right there. I'm gonna go ahead and lay it. I'm gonna go ahead and use my finger trick. Again, the widest part of the print, 3 inches on 3 fingers on each side. That's gonna be right in the middle. I'm gonna double check. This is gonna be the seam. I'm gonna double check that the print is 1 inch from the seam. So this is right in the center. The transfer did not curl. It's laying nice and flat. So I don't need a heat press. I don't need any heat resistant tape. I'm just gonna go ahead and press as is. Now I'm gonna grab a corner. And the last item we're gonna be doing is gonna be this duffel bag. Let's go ahead and lay it down. Now we've kind of already pre-measured that we're gonna be doing 2 inches from the zipper, which I'm gonna put in place, about 2 inches from the print, right about there. Right about there, centered. Definitely want to use some heat resistant tape for this job. And one more for the bottom. Now I'm going to show you guys a trick. What we're going to be using is the largest size heat press pillow. We're going to be using a secondary pillow, but before that I'm going to make sure that you remove the handle and all the straps, the zipper pouch, everything out of place. I stuck the second pillow inside, so there's going to be 2 pillows. It's going to create a nice flat surface. Now the shoulder strap's in the way, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it out, pull out the handles. Now with your hands, you're gonna feel and make sure that there's nothing underneath that's gonna get in the way. I have it centered on the heat press. Now I'm ready to press. I'm gonna go ahead and rub the transfer down. Make sure that all the edges are nice and secure. Okay, now I'm gonna grab an edge, peel down, take out the tape, place it right back on there. Remove the pillow, remove the inner pillow. There you guys have it. The duffel is done. Our whole collection is done. There you have it, guys. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Hope you guys got some inspiration on creating some designs for your own clothing brand. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a link for all the products that we're working with here. I want to thank again Anti-Offroad for working with us on this collaboration. Again, thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on that next one.